Here at Empower Field at Mile High, I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, stand next to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla. The Broncos have a lot to celebrate as they extend their winning streak, remain perfect at home, but most importantly, punch their ticket to the playoffs. It was an exciting atmosphere. How big was this win?
Yeah, this was a big win for the Broncos as they earned a 34-26 victory over the Green Bay Packers. A back-and-forth sort of game. It felt like a heavyweight type fight with both teams punching back and forth. The Broncos land the last few punches and win the football game. And I think what stands out most is that in the locker room, you didn't really hear anybody talk about the fact that they clinched a playoff berth. That is not a top goal for this team. Sean Payton talked after the game. It's win the division, get as good of a seed as possible, and then go and win a world championship. And so, as he said, the Broncos haven't really accomplished anything yet in terms of their goals, but this does officially punch their ticket to the playoffs. And hopefully, as early as next week, if the Broncos beat the Jaguars and the Chargers fall to the Cowboys, the Broncos could clinch the first of those goals, which is the AFC West, earn a home playoff game, guaranteeing that the environment we saw tonight will be back in January.
A lot of the guys did talk about how big of an impact Broncos country made in this game, not only from the noise, but the excitement really kept them going. One guy that was really getting going was Bo Nix. What an impressive game from him today. Over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. More importantly, no interceptions and no sacks.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was really, really good. I mean, hopefully nationally, some of the doubt about Bo Nix. Hopefully you're watching this game because this is what Bo Nix can be. This is what he can do. This was arguably the best game of his career. Like you said, 4 touchdowns, ties a career high, 300 yards. Made so many plays on the run. And then in big moments, there's the 4th down to Courtland Sutton. He delivers a perfect pass. He delivers a nice touchdown to Courtland in the corner of the end zone. He fires one into Troy Franklin again and again and again. He just made big-time plays. And Mike McGlinchey said it after the game, nobody was going to stop number 10 today. He was running around. There were times he threw one right past the defender's helmet. It grazed the side of the helmet. He was spectacular and put it out there. If Bo Nix plays like that, there's nobody that you can't beat. That's truly how good he was today. This was a Packers defense that was 6th in the NFL in scoring defense. Had Micah Parsons. I know, obviously, it was difficult to see him go down and leave with a knee injury, but the Broncos were playing well before Micah Parsons left, and they were driving to take the lead there when Parsons suffered his injury. So this was something that happened throughout the game. For Bo Nix to play the way he did, it really impressed me. And we're now on a stretch, really since that Chiefs game, where Bo Nix has played extremely well. This is the sort of football you need him to play as you finish the regular season and go into the playoffs.
Bo Nix really spread the ball around, hitting all types of different receivers. Marvin Mims joked that he was the only one that didn't get into the end zone and kind of poked fun at the fact that his teammates did very well today. How impressed were you with the way that he was able to connect with different guys?
Poor Marvin. He got one last week.
He got a big one last week.
Got one last week. So, yeah, I think that's part of what makes this offense difficult to defend is it is the play calling. It is the play design where the ball can go all sorts of different places. In the big moments, I think he's going to Courtland Sutton, and Courtland Sutton has his second 100-yard game of the season, his first since week 3. He made several incredible catches, but I thought Troy Franklin had a really big day. Some tough contested catches that he made. Well, Jordan Humphrey stepped up in a big way. I'm sure I'm missing some guys here, but the fact that you can spread the ball around, and I think last week he completed passes to 11 different guys. Clearly he's seeing the field well, and whether it's Courtland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin, Evan Engram, or R.J. Harvey out of the backfield, a lot of different options, and second highest point total this year for Denver, despite, like I said, the 6th ranked scoring defense. So it was a good afternoon.
The Broncos really show their depth on offense, but on defense, they continue to make plays, especially in key moments. We've talked about the turnovers, and they definitely got some today.
Yeah, the Surtain interception early in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, that was the turning point of the game. We heard a lot of different people say that. Quite frankly, the Packers offense had the edge in the first half. I think they scored on all 4 possessions. It was 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, so it didn't kind of end the game or put the game out of reach, and that ultimately mattered a lot in the second half. But they score on those 4 possessions, then they come down and score on the first drive of the second half, score another touchdown. You're down 9 points. Offense goes 3 and out, and it looks like maybe this could get away from you. Pat Surtain makes one of the more athletic interceptions you'll see. He took off, I think it was like the 36-yard line, and he landed at about the 29. That's 20 feet in the air that this guy jumped to haul this interception. And Bo Nix joked that maybe you should play a little offense, and then quickly clarified that they weren't going to do that. But that was a huge turning point in the game. The Broncos score a touchdown on the next drive, really brings it kind of back to a place where you're able to compete with these guys. And then over the course of the second half, just the way the defense responded. I think the Broncos got stops on 5 of the next 6 possessions, a couple turnovers on downs. You mentioned the Surtain pick. Riley Moss got his first pick of the season. So the way that they were really resilient, I thought was impressive. And this is a good Packers offense. A lot of weapons. Josh Jacobs played well. He always seems to play well against Denver. But for this defense to respond the way it did, that was really good to see.
We've talked about a playoff atmosphere and how important hosting a playoff game here at home is so important. But when we look at the field of what both of these teams were able to do, you definitely got a preview of what is to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, there was some intensity, some fireworks pregame. Leading into the game, some Broncos weren't thrilled that they were underdogs in this game. And they came out, and like I said, it was kind of that back and forth battle, 6 lead changes. It felt like somebody needed to land that uppercut and get the edge, and one of them was that 4th down pass from Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton that set up the touchdown that pushed the lead to 8. But I think just overall, to see that you can go toe-to-toe with these guys, to beat them on your home field way back in January, and we keep talking about it, Sean Payton said, we got to play these games at home. Mm-hmm. You're getting closer to clinching the ability to play these games at home. And, yeah, Sean Payton said it. This is a Packers team that he thinks can go deep in the postseason. This is the type of team, the caliber of team that you're going to see in January and hopefully in February. But for the Broncos to earn the win the way they did and they wear teams down late in the game. You've seen the formula for winning. And, I think the Broncos proved a lot this afternoon that they're a team that can be taken seriously as a contender in the NFL.
A complete team performance, which allowed them to continue their winning streak and, again, remain perfect here at home. Well, that'll do it for your instant analysis here at Empower Field at Mile High. Once again, I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, next to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla. For all the coverage from this game and more, make sure you guys head over to DenverBroncos.com.